I want to move into the next one just because like the holidays, the big holidays just passed, right? We just went through Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, right? Everything like that. So the family dynamics, right? Like the family dynamics during the holidays. We've both relocated, from where we spent years from, right? So talk to me about just kind of like how do you navigate family dynamics, right? Just the holidays, right? The conflict, right, of, relatives, different opinions and traditions and stuff like that. Like, how have you handled that more so than anything else? And what's your thoughts on it? Like, obviously, right, different cultures, different upbringings. What's your thoughts on it?
It's very interesting. It's a very interesting question. To be honest, we haven't had. Well, I personally haven't had any issues
Mm,
with the family. Like we love so backstory just to make it so we moved to Texas from California and we had no family for years here, and so having family come during the holiday times is actually been great. It's been
nice.
it's been phenomenal. The holidays have always been pretty amazing. They come, family comes mainly. Cece's family comes and do the whole nine. The whether it's Thanksgiving, big old feast, and obviously she's Hispanic, so we're doing like Hispanic food, tamales, and all that stuff. And it's great.
So y'all eating well,
We
I
eating
see.
good, being married, and then my Mac, my son, obviously he loves it. He loves having the family over. It's really never is. Knock on wood, it's never been no issues yet
Mm.
that I can think. I mean, yeah, not, I haven't experienced any issues yet. So
Well, I'm gonna talk about the other side then. I'm gonna talk about the other side, right? Now, obviously, too, right? Once you're married, yes, it is amongst you two, right? And the truth is, holidays for us has turned into like more so, yeah, we can laugh and there's stories here and this and that, but ultimately at the end of the day too as well, it's inevitable with two different upbringings and stuff like that. There's always gonna be a clash of cultures or something, right? For me, right? My, backstory, my parents, divorced early on. We didn't have holidays like that amongst ourselves. And so mine is mainly, I would say the first years of us being married was really like, we don't decorate for Halloween. We don't decorate for Easter. We don't decorate. What is this, right? There's only two holidays in the year. It's Christmas and Thanksgiving. That's it. And I had to get used to that. Like, Nick's family member, they decorated for everything, right? For everything. And I have appreciation for it now because I do see the way that Noah lights up when he sees decorations, or, being a boy tries to destroy the decorations. But like early on, it was like I didn't have the appreciation for it or the time for it or want to slow down. And so that did cause issues, right? Even like her family, right? Everyone's decorating, and like, we would be the house that didn't decorate. And so now, I would say this past year, the family dynamic during the holidays was actually good because I actually leaned into that. And as a man, it's okay to lean into it. It's okay to lean into the decorations and the celebrations and let your woman lead the way and help her however you want to help her in regards to like
Mhm.
just getting in the spirit of it. So for this, I mean, like I said, this time, for was the first holiday I can just say that like, I was in the spirit, and she went in for Halloween, which is, her birth year anyway. And as soon as Thanksgiving or whatever, we're not setting them things. No, we're going straight to Christmas. Once Halloween is over, we're going straight to
Oh yeah,
Christmas, straight to Christmas.
we do the
And
same
so,
thing, bro. Same thing. Yep.
yeah. But yeah, like, I mean that is a topic that I know a lot of families deal with. And I think, just talking kind of from myself, right? I feel like as men, we're not necessarily brought up to like have appreciation for that. Like, yes, we get presents and we know that family's around, but like actually decorating and putting strings and mistletoes and trees and yeah, like we're not privy to that. And so
Also, full transparency, we're African, and you want to talk about culturally, like African, we ain't doing all that. Like, just that's really what it is. I think if you're American, I'm sure it's different, but for us, I'm sure you,
yeah, yeah. The most celebrations you get for Halloween is trick or treat. Thanksgiving is church, Christmas is church. Like that's, but yeah, you're 100% right. You know,
Exactly. Your parents probably didn't even buy candy to give out, even like you was that house,
yeah.
like like so.
Yeah, but I mean, once again, I once again with where it was 10 years ago, even 5 years ago to like now, it's different. You know what I mean? And I think now you see a lot of men, leaning into it, right? Not being afraid to be a part of the festivities and the holidays and stuff like that. And also too, like, and once again, it's something I struggled with too, is the opinions of family, right, relatives. Like everyone is opinionated. Everyone wants you to do what they feel is best for you or for their kids or grandkids. And as you get older, you realize that it's okay to listen, but ultimately you have the decision and the final say, right? And I think we all owe that level of respect, for our elders, in my opinion. But you don't have to do it. You can listen to it, but you definitely don't have to do it.
So what they they giving you family advice at Christmas? What's going like?
I mean, sometimes, like, oh, prime example, right? And hasn't happened recently, right? This hasn't happened recently, but back in the day, it's like, when Noah was first born out of the womb, with fresh out, right, slime and all, right.
Yeah.
He needs to go to Nigeria. I'm like, he will, he will eventually, right? Like he, even if we go now, he's not going to remember it, right? And just certain different traditions and customs and stuff like that. But now, like I said, it was early on, right? Early on in our marriage and relationships and stuff like that. I think now that we've gotten older, we've understood how to, especially this holiday, this the past 2024 was really, really good because we're on the same page with holidays. It's like, you want to decorate, let's decorate. You know what I mean? And I was more excited to decorate, for a thing or for Christmas this year, So I'm just like,
Mm.
can we do Christmas lights outside? And it was like, Nick was like, I don't want you on the roofs and stuff like that. Like, so we just decorated inside, had a little bit outside. But this is probably the most festive as a household we've been, especially since this move.
Okay.
Yeah. But
I think
yeah,
I think for me and my my African childhood upbringing, for me what it did was I actually I embrace it. I think I embrace it more like like yeah, let's yeah, let's decorate. Let's do like I actually because I we I feel like we were deprived of that as children
absolutely.
or whatever, you know what I mean?
Kind of
So it's
make up the
like
difference.
yeah, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Especially for, we both have young men, and my thing is I really make a conscious effort to not be my parents.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? I'm like very
But
conscious. Like
but it's also tough too because I promise you there are some things where you're just like your parents.
fact. That's what I'm saying. It's a conscious effort. Yeah, you right. You gotta be. It's intentional. You really gotta wait. Is like you really gotta think about it. Like, how do I want to raise my child? Like, I want to take the good things among, our parents did their best and they did great. There's, African values and all that good stuff. But it's like there's certain things, there's the positives, the pros, the cons you take from them, and the values that they instilled in us and whatnot. You want to instill those in our children. But then there's the other parts that's like, okay, we could do without this, without
Mhm.
the child abuse that we got.
Whenever where the time when anything was okay, belt
Mhm.
switch, whatever was in hands and reach was live for
Whatever,
play.
whatever we got beat with. So just certain things, and then being real, like, and I don't know if this is true for all Africans or maybe it's just me, but like I never felt that connection with my parents because in African it's such a hierarchy, right? Like I'm the adult, I'm the parent, you are a child.
Mhm.
Like yeah, so we and don't speak to me, don't talk back like that. So you never feel like comfortable to like come talk to your parents about certain issues, certain things that you should be able to talk to your parents so they can parent you, and you're not out here, just figure it out. You know what I mean? And so I guess those are the types of things I'm trying to like be better about
Yeah,
we parent. I'm like, I don't want to build that dynamic where
yeah. But
my child
it's hard.
doesn't want to talk to me. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like,
Boys are tough, man. It's hard to raise boys, and I commend my mom raising three. You know what I mean, and my dad too. But like once again, my dad did exactly what he was tough, and like you have appreciation for it now that we're older. But the kid phase of it, bro, like I can only imagine. You know what I mean? The non-listening, the running around, the stubbornness, the constant repeating yourself and all that too. And so it's a balance. Now, one thing that I do remember that in my opinion that is not normal, it wasn't normal growing up was it was with our parents, especially as the men, right? The dads, right? Even the moms, it was very disciplined, and that was it, right? Discipline, and that was it. Whereas now I feel like the difference for us is like discipline, here's why. Let's hug it
Mhm.
out.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? And that's the
yeah,
part to me that makes it to where it's like, okay, it's okay to be disciplinarian, right, in the household, but also understand that like just because I discipline you or say no to something doesn't mean that you can't still get in my space and get a hug, right? It doesn't mean that
exactly.
I can't slow things down or as a parent. And I think that's one of those things that's very lost or it was lost, right? Back in the day, it was just really like when I got disciplined, it was like, I ain't messing with you. I can't stand you. I'm leaving. I'm never coming back home again. I can't stand you. Right. Whereas now, like you said, trying to be different from our parents is like, okay, like you're not listening. I'm gonna discipline or I'm going to say, hey, put that down. Right. And then, hey, come here. Like, let me slow things down now and explain why that's not okay. Hey, if you
Mhm.
keep messing with that, you can hurt yourself. Right. If you keep messing with that, hey, daddy loves you, right? Give me a hug and then go about your business, but yeah, that's I think that's parenting now, but crazy enough, like I feel like a lot of people, this is another topic too we can talk about soft parenting and more disciplined parenting, right? Do you
Mhm.
believe that as a parent, as a dad raising boys, you can just be like, hey, Mac, let's just not do that. Hey, Mac, put it down. Hey, Mac. Or do you have to have the real African side needs to kick in from time
Yeah.
to time?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I completely agree with everything you just said too. It's that's exactly it. It's like discipline, but also let me communicate to this
Yeah.
child so he actually feels like, oh, my parent can I can communicate with my parent.
Mm.
It's not just I get beat
Yeah. Yeah.
and then it's silence and I'm just crying. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, there's a teaching going on here.
Mm.
There's a communication and there's a love of I'm not just disciplining you. I'm gonna love you up as well afterwards. So there's the discipline, there's the teaching, and there's love as well. So that you're
Absolutely.
exactly right, and that's exactly what I'm talking about. Kind of yes, we take the discipline from our parents that are African authoritarian parents and whatnot, but also listen, let's infuse our this new age. Okay, of let's actually communicate and
Mm.
actually show this child that we love them because I feel like you as an African child like and we're talking about we're first generation like you like do my parents love me like is it,
This ain't
the way
okay.
I'm getting beat like is this
Yeah.
love like
This ain't okay.
right so like I feel like now we're in a place where okay yeah we're going to discipline you but also we're going to communicate and we're going to show you that you are loved and you're
Yeah.
not just a child to be beaten as.
And to say, go, bring me the remote.
Go give me
Bring
that remote.
bring me the remote.
Bring me some water.
Yeah. All right. So I know we're running on a little bit, bro. Let's pick. I want to talk about here. These are topics we're going to talk about before we wrap it up today. Sports, right?